back for our daily MLB Best Bets here for Sunday, May 11th. Today is a Sunday again, which means all 15 games are being played today in Major League Baseball, and all 30 teams are playing today in the MLB, involving a Sunday night baseball game as well in Cleveland, Ohio, between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Cleveland Guardians. We're going to have a best bet actually for that game as well, along with our Nerfy player prop, 2 money lines, and of course the Washington Nationals best bet of the day. And folks, before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily MLB Best Bets here on the channel. Later today, in a couple hours, we're going to have our NBA postseason predictions. Cavs-Pacers Game 4, Thunder-Nuggets Game 4 from Indiana and Denver. Make sure to go check out that video again in just a couple hours here on the channel. And on Greedo Plays MMA today, we're going to have our UFC Fight Night Burns versus Morales full card predictions. Make sure to join us for that again around 5 p.m. Pacific on Greedo Plays MMA, and go subscribe to Greedo Plays MMA as well. Okay, on to the first of our 5 best bets for today. We kick things off with our best player prop of the day, -105. We are going to Juan Soto with the first game of the day on Roku at 9:05 a.m. at 12:05, obviously in Queens, New York. Again, I'm taking Juan Soto's over hits, runs, and RBI. It's 1.5. I think this is a very achievable line for Soto, who's been hitting the ball much better recently. Yesterday was an exception to that, as Juan went 0 for 5 against the Chicago Cubs. But prior to that game, Juan Soto had back-to-back 2-hit nights against Chicago in the last game that the Mets played in Arizona. Prior to that, a hitless night in Arizona against the D-backs, but then a 1-for-3 night plus a run, which would have hit this line as well for Soto. I think this really makes sense here for Juan in this spot. Matthew Boyd is on the mound for Chicago, so yes, Soto will be seeing lefty-lefty, but I'm not too mad about that, honestly. I mean, over the years against Soto has been all right against left-handed pitching, and I just don't think, again, Matt Boyd has been solid this year, but I don't think that's going to make too much of a difference. If anything, again, that just gives us a better line for this play as well. Juan, career-wise against the lefty, and Boyd is 1 for 4 with a home run, so batting .250 overall, but that one home run for Soto, again, would clear that line right away for us because it would be a hit, run, and an RBI. So hopefully Soto, again, it finishes this line for us with one swing of the bat, but I will give Boyd credit. He's been really good this year for Chicago. 3-2 record, but again, pitching records don't mean anything. What does matter, though, is the 2.75 ERA for Matthew Boyd. He's been excellent, but again, Juan Soto has hit a home run career-wise against Boyd, and I think there's a chance, again, that might happen today. Again, I'm not going to, be too harsh on Soto here like I've been in the past. I've called him, kind of just an overpay for the Mets, and I firmly still believe that. I'm going to be honest with you guys. He just wasn't worth all that much money. Is the guy a generational talent, once-in-a-lifetime type of player? Maybe. He's great. Obviously, I know how good Juan Soto is, but was he worth that much money in the 700 millions? Probably not. But again, Soto can still rake. Yesterday was not a good game for him against Chicago, in which the Cubs actually won 6-3. It's only the 4th home loss the New York Mets have suffered at home in Queens this season. But I do expect Soto to be much better in this spot today. Again, this is a guy with great protection in the lineup, right? Juan obviously said a couple weeks ago, it's different for him adjusting playing for a team not with the best hitter in the world behind him. Obviously, it's not Aaron Judge. That's Pete Alonso now for him. Well, not the best hitter in the world, but Pete Alonso's now the guy hitting behind Juan in the lineup. But the thing is, Alonso's been so good this year. He's cooling off maybe a little bit, but still, the guy's batting really well, batting .322 on the season. Yesterday went 1 for 4. There's really not much else you can ask for if you're Soto, right? You bat in front of Pete Alonso. You bat behind Francisco Lindor, who bats around 300. The rest of the lineup, I mean, again, Francisco Alvarez hits the ball very hard. Acuna's been really good this year as well. Potentially might win Rookie of the Year in the National League, right? Brandon Nimmo's whatever. Vientos will have his nights. But, I mean, Soto is in the midst of the best part of this lineup, obviously, with 1, 2, 3, Lindor, Soto, Alonso, and there's really not much more you can ask. Who wins the game? I really don't care, I hope the Cubs win. I really despise the New York Mets. They will be sending Griffin Canning on the mound, who somehow, someway is a 2.5 ERA this season with a 5-1 record. I don't understand. When he pitched against the Nationals, he went 5 shutout innings. I don't understand this weird career resurgence for Griffin Canning at 28 years of age. Maybe he just needed to leave Anaheim, because that's kind of just the case for a lot of guys sometimes. Anyways, I'm going to take Juan Soto on the over. Hits, runs, and RBI. It's 1.5 today, and the line, it does, look pretty good for us. -105 for the chosen Juan Soto to get it done here in Queens. All we need, hit, let's say Lindor leads off the game with a double. Soto knocks him in with a single. Boom, we win. Let's do it. Juan Soto again, minus 105 hits, runs, and RBI. Let's go on to our second best bet of the video. Let's go to our daily nerfie of the day. I'm going to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Another early start at 10:35 a.m. I'm just putting a lot of trust in the fact that I don't think either of these lineups are going to score in the first inning. Now, there is a definite, there's a definite contender here, or challenge, I will say, and it's with the Atlanta Braves bats. So pitching tonight for the Pittsburgh Pirates is Carmen Mlb. I can never get his name. Didn't pitch against the Nationals this season, and I was very disappointed in that. But Carmen hasn't been the best. Last two starts for him, he's gone about 4 innings, and both of those gave up, 5 hits, give or take, in both those starts, and gave up 2 runs. Long ball usually a problem with him. You're going to see opposing teams and opposing lineups take him deep in games. And yes, the overall ERA for Carmen is 6.16. Not ideal. And now when we compare that, or square that off against the Braves lineup, I get a little bit concerned with Ozuna from the Braves in the 3. Matt Olson, I know it hasn't been his best season, but he went yard yesterday, and the guy, of course, is still that power threat. Batting .221, but, there's a reason. Again, Matt Olson has been one of the best power-hitting first basemen in the game for the past, 5 years at the bare minimum. Verdugo and Riley in the 1-2. I didn't think Alex Verdugo was going to see that much success in Atlanta, Georgia this season, but obviously he has. And Austin Riley's batting .284. Albies struggling and whatnot, but I don't think we're going to get to the likes of an Ozzy Albies, or a Sean Murphy later in the lineup. So, can we get the outs early in the game? I think we can, all right? Yesterday, the nerfie hit in this game, right? Now their team scored in the first inning. Now, Andrew Heaney was pitching for Pittsburgh, and he is levels ahead of Mlb. But I think the Braves, who have kind of started slow in many games this season, I think they'll do the same here, and I think we're able to get some quick and easy outs, right? We're going to get righty-righty with Riley and Ozuna, so I think, again, this all starts and ends by getting the leadoff man out, and that's going to be Alex Verdugo, right? We need to get back on the winning track with our nerfies. Yesterday, we did not hit with the White Sox and the Marlins because the White Sox scored in the bottom half of the first inning. Shocker. Thanks, Edward Cabrera. But I think Mlb is going to be able to get us 3 outs, and then we look at, the other side of things. This is the easier part by far. The Pittsburgh Pirates bats, are not good. They don't do anything all that well. I mean, O'Neal Cruz is probably still their best hitter, and he bats .240. Power threat, sure. Negative outfielder, let's just be honest, fielding-wise. He's one of the worst defensive outfielders in all the game right now. But I look at this Pirates lineup. Brian Reynolds still hasn't figured it out. He's batting .215. Andrew McCutchen actually probably is their best hitter. Yesterday, Joey Bart went 4 for 4, so that's something. He's bumped the season average up to .286. Brian Hayes has just been Adam Frazier, but again, we're not going to get to the likes of Hayes, Frazier, and whatnot. Likely, again, we're going to see, probably O'Neal Cruz, Brian Reynolds, and Andrew McCutchen with the lefty on the mound and Sale. I mean, I don't think O'Neal Cruz does anything lefty-lefty, if I'm being honest with you. Brian Reynolds has not shown any capability of being all that dangerous this season as a switch hitter. And Andrew McCutchen, who is the designated hitter, is great, obviously, former MVP. And McCutchen has been hitting the ball fairly well this season. But I'm going to tend to side with Chris Sale, who's been much better recently, right? I mean, after his very poor start to the season, he's bounced back in a big way in his last, I'll say, 4 starts. Three out of those 4 games, Atlanta has won with Sale on the mound. Actually, his last 3 starts. The start against the Twins wasn't very good. But 3 starts ago in Arizona, he goes 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 4 Ks. The Rockies game, 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. Consider this at Coors Field. It's at elevation. Sale goes 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 home run given up, 0 walks, 10 strikeouts. His team still loses the game 2-1. His last start, though, very good as well. In extra innings, the Braves win 2-1. Chris Sale, though, goes 6 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 0 runs again, 10 strikeouts. So 20 combined strikeouts in Chris Sale's last 2 starts. I think he'll be fine in this one. I would expect him to get the strikeout early in this game because of, again, how piss poor the Pirates offense can be. And I look at the matchups, right? Brian Reynolds, O'Neal Cruz, don't trust him to get a hit lefty-lefty. And Andrew McCutchen, for as good as he is, I don't think he's going to kill us with a long ball. So I think Chris Sale should be able to keep the ball in the yard, and I think he should be forcing a lot of swing and miss stuff in this game. Again, he's been much better since that poor start to the season. ERA is still at 4.07, but expect that to continue to dip as the season goes on for the former Cy Young Award winner. I'm going Chris Sale and Carmen Moldesini to get us the 6 outs here at PNC Park. I'm hoping nothing goes over the fence in right field because it's fairly easily to hit balls out there. I'm looking at an O'Neill Cruz. I'm looking at a Matt Olson. But I think we're going to be okay. Again, Sale and Carmen to kick off the day with our Nerfy trying to get back on the winning ways with this one. Line -135. That's fair because every Pirates Nerfy should be this. You know, usually it's the combination of their pitching staff, or at least their starting pitching staff, being really good and their bats being horrible. Again, I know this is one of their guys who isn't very good in their rotation, but I don't trust the Pirates' bats at all. So I think Chris Sale is going to be able to get us, going, and I think Carmen should be able to get us outs of the Atlanta Braves. So again, Nerfy here in Pittsburgh between the Pirates and Atlanta. Let's go on to our third best bet of the video. Let's go to our Washington Nationals best bet of the day. I'm going Mackenzie Gore over on strikeouts at 6.5. I'm taking the over in this game. I did consider going Washington Nationals money line today. The Nationals are -145 favorites. That is blasphemous. That's ridiculous. I would not trust them to win any baseball game. Because, guys, I'm going to tell you the line Mackenzie Gore is going to pitch today. I see it now, okay? Gore is going to go 6 innings. He's going to give up 3 hits, 1 run, and when he exits this game, the Nationals will be tied 1-1 or losing 1-0. Okay, for as mid as Miles Michaelis was to start this season, his last couple of starts have not been all that bad. Well, the Pirates start wasn't very good, but the Reds and Braves starts on the road, his last 2 starts on the road were actually really good. 6 innings against the Braves, 6 hits, 0 runs. Reds, 5 1/3, 3 hits, 0 runs. And you might think to yourself, oh, not a big strikeout guy. Well, that benefits Michaelis so much against a Darnell Coles-led offense. Yes, Darnell Coles, the hitting coach of the Washington Nationals, a team that doesn't hit the ball out the infield, that doesn't do anything right. How did you go 18 consecutive innings without scoring against a team in the St. Louis Cardinals who is one of the worst road teams in all of baseball? You lose back-to-back games. Darnell Coles, why does this guy have a job? Why? We ruin every great hitter. Shout out to Dylan Cruz, by the way, 2-run shot. The guy continues to hit the ball hard. He's going to be spectacular in this league, even with Darnell Coles as his hitting coach. 18 straight innings without a run. It is ridiculous. We almost got shut out in back-to-back games again if it was not for Cruz. We don't hit the ball at the infield. Why does Coles have a job? We've been one of the worst hitting teams in all of baseball. We still bat Josh Bell. What is going on? It's so painfully obvious they don't want to win. Just tell the fans you want to lose again every single season. 6 games under 500. It's an absolute joke of a team. It's a complete joke. And then don't get me started. We're starting Trevor Williams every 5 days. Yesterday, Williams gives up 4 runs. It could have been worse, but the guy doesn't throw the ball hard. He can't locate anything. What does he do? He throws the fastball 86 miles an hour. He can't find spots. He's walking the Cardinals around the bases like it's that clip from The Simpsons where it's a walk parade the entire time. Why does Trevor Williams still pitch every 5 days? You gave him 2 years. Okay, send him to the bullpen. Brad Lord's been relegated to not even seeing the field anymore. What are we doing? We are just unserious. Why does Jim Hickey have a job? We got shut out by Eric Fetty, who went to Korea, comes back, by the way, former National, and we get shut out by him. Patrick Corbin's got a 3 ERA this season, and he was the worst pitcher in the MLB on our team. We're a joke. And I'm sick of watching this shit. I'm serious. When will the rebuild end? It's never going to, with Darnell Coles and Jim Hickey running the staff. I'm going to give Davey another pass. Like, I might be the only one who thinks, like, all right, I don't really think this is on Davey. I think it's bad coaching decisions by Davey in terms of, all right, Hickey and Coles are here. Get rid of those 2. Make Doolittle the head pitching coach. I don't care. We have nothing to lose at this point. And I don't know what we're going to do hitting-wise. I would not trust Gerardo Parra to be our hitting coach. But we can figure that one out, you know? I want Coles and Hickey gone. That's what I want. We're an absolute joke of a team. So the Nationals should not be minus 145 favorites today, but what I do trust in is Mackenzie Gore on strikeouts. 6.5. He's gotten this, in pretty much every single start he's had this season, with the exception of a couple games. Actually, 2. The start in Toronto, he wasn't very good. He got hit very hard in that start. Only had 5 strikeouts, gave up 3 runs. And then in his last start against Philly on the road, he only had 6 strikeouts. Again, got hit pretty hard in that game. All the other starts, though, this year, Mackenzie Gore has gotten this line of 6.5. Philly, first time around on opening day, 13 Ks. Dodgers, game 7. Marlins, game 7. Rockies, game 13. Orioles, 8. Reds, 9. Mackenzie Gore still leads Major League Baseball in strikeouts with 68. And we have James Wood on our team. We've got CJ Abrams, who's batting around 300. And Dylan Cruz hit a home run yesterday. And, it is what it is. He'll be fine. And yet we're 6 games under 500. I'm so sick of this shit, man. Why do I even watch? I'm serious. I think the Nationals are going to lose today. I hope they don't. But I think Gore is going to go 6 innings. I kid you not, probably 10 strikeouts. I'm gonna say 6 innings, 10 strikeouts, 3 hits, 1 run, and he will exit the game in a tie baseball game. If not, no, 1-0. They're going to be losing 1-0 when Mackenzie Gore exits in the 6th inning. And I'm going to go a St. Louis victory today, 1-0. Yep, 1-0. Whatever. That's why we're going Mackenzie Gore today. I'm not taking Nationals money line for a long time. If they go to Atlanta and win 3 of 4, maybe I'll be back hyping up this team like we never left. But I'm so sick of this. We are in a worse position this year than we were last year in terms of record. Obviously, the roster feels better this year, but guys, the Nationals were hovering around 500 at this point in the year last year. And my delusional ass was thinking we were going to the playoffs. I was looking at flights to DC in September. I'm joking, or October. But what are we even doing anymore, man? I just don't know what I'm supposed to get excited for now. The future. I've been hearing the future for the last 5 seasons, and I know, again, Cruz, Abrams, Wood, Gore, they're right here now. I understand that. It's in the back of my mind, though. I feel like our clock's running now, and if things don't get going in the next 2 seasons, then we're staring down the barrel of a Mackenzie Gore trade. If we can't extend CJ Abrams, we're staring down the barrel of an Abrams trade, and we're just repeating the same cycle over and over again. I'm just saying, I do think about it. Mackenzie Gore over 6.5 strikeouts. He's the best pitcher in the MLB. Strikeout pitcher, I'll make myself very clear. Next up, we move to Kansas City, Missouri for the Kansas City Royals and the Boston Red Sox. So a lot of early spots, I'm not going to lie today. 11 o'clock start time for this one. Our next and final play of the day will be a 2-leg parlay with 2 games across the day, and we'll get to that in a second. But our play here is going to be on the Kansas City Royals money line. The Red Sox finally broke the winning streak yesterday. We talked about that game a little bit, obviously, right? We had Garrett Crochet. Actually, we picked the Red Sox, so yeah. The Red Sox won. We had Garrett Crochet in that one to get us the win, and he only gave up 1 run. The Red Sox win the game 10-1. Again, something we kind of expected, let's just be honest, right? Kansas City has been dominant prior to that Red Sox loss. They were on a 7-game winning streak. Boston finally gets the better of them yesterday. So the Royals now only 7 games over 500. Great team as a whole. I'm taking them in a bounce back spot today. I think it's a good spot for us, right? Look at the pitching matchup. It's Lucas Giolito versus Seth Lugo. Both veterans of the sport, obviously, right? Giolito, 30 years of age. Lugo, 35. Seth Lugo's been a very good piece of this Royals starting pitching staff this year. And I'll be honest, I like a lot of what the Royals do with their pitching. I mean, look at a guy like Chris Bubich the other day who killed us when we picked the White Sox, right? Waka's been decent. Cole Ragans has been pretty good. I mean, this is a good starting, or hell, Lorenzen will be good in spots as well for the Royals. That's a reason, right? This team's 7 games over 500. And Unk here and Seth Lugo's been very good, 2.84 ERA. His last start against the Chicago White Sox, 6 2/3, 7 hits, but limits the damage, only 1 earned run, right? He's been very solid. That start against the Astros a couple weeks ago, 8 innings, 3 hits, 0 runs, 8 strikeouts. Lugo can be very solid for Kansas City, and the Royals have won the last 3 starts he has pitched in. On the flip side, Lucas Giolito's pitching today for the Boston Red Sox. He's pitched twice this season, and the Red Sox have lost both of the games in which Giolito has started. His last start against the Texas Rangers, he goes 3 2/3 innings, 10 hits, 6 runs, 2 strikeouts. Start prior to that Wasn't the worst against the Blue Jays on the road up in Toronto, Ontario, but 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 7 Ks. Yeah, I don't really trust Lucas Giolito to win a game here for the Red Sox. This is the one deciding the series, obviously. They split the first 2 games, and I expect the Royals to win. I really don't think it comes down to the bats of either teams, if I'm being honest with you. I think both of these offenses are good enough to the point where they're going to produce, right? They're going to produce against whoever's pitching, right? But then when you get down to it, this might be a convoluted way of saying this, but when you get down to the actual pitching matchups itself, I think Seth Lugo's better in spots. I'm trying to get at here. I think both these teams know how to get on base, right? Both these teams are going to put guys on the base paths, but when you think about it, I think the Royals are going to be able to do more against Lucas Giolito than what the Red Sox are going to be able to do against Seth Lugo. I think maybe Boston scores 1 or 2 on Lugo. I expect the Royals to get into the 4, potentially 5s off of Giolito. I know, again, we have a very small sample size so far this year for the righty out of Santa Monica, California. Only 2 starts, but over those 2 starts, an 8.38 ERA. Giolito just hasn't been all the best this season, and then I look at this Royals lineup, I look at a guy like a Bobby Witt, I look at a Salvi Perez, I look at a Michael Garcia, I look at a Jonathan India. These are guys at the top of the lineup that will produce, and I know can produce. Again, Garcia batting .314, Bobby Witt batting .323. Those are guys who are going to wreak chaos and wreak havoc every single time they're on the base paths, right? And that's what the Royals are going to do. Yesterday, just a bad day for Kansas City. They had to lose eventually, obviously, and I think today, and obviously, by the way, Garrett Crochet on the bump for Boston, right? There's a reason we had the Red Sox yesterday. But I do think it's a bounce-back spot. I'm not too big on Giolito in the big 2025, and yes, Seth Lugo's 35 years old, but he's been pitching very serviceable this year, and I look at the Royals lineup. I like it matchup-wise against Giolito. I think Boston's going to score on Lugo too, but I really think, again, this game favors Kansas City. They're at home as well, and I think they're going to win this 3-game set, winning the rubber match here. Don't care about how much, but I think they're going to be able to get the best of Lucas Giolito. So give me Seth Lugo and the Kansas City Royals to win this game at home at Kauffman Stadium. We look at the money line at -130 for Kansas City. Sign me up for this 11 o'clock game. Our final best bet of the video is a 2-leg parlay. This is stealing candy from a baby. First part of the parlay, this is just bullying the San Diego Padres in Colorado to take on the Rockies. I'll give the Rockies credit for one thing. The Friday night game was entertaining, right? San Diego's up huge. You thought the game's over. Colorado comes storming back. They score 7 unanswered to end the ball game. They're down, 13-2 at one point. They score 7 unanswered in the last 2 innings. Ultimately, they still lose the game 13-9, but the Rockies matched the Padres in hits. Both teams had exactly 16 hits in that game, but obviously San Diego scored more runs. They won the game 13-9. Okay, that's fine. Yesterday, though, oh man, a 21-0 victory for the San Diego Padres. The Chargers go to Mile High Stadium and scored 3 touchdowns against the Denver Broncos and pitch a shutout on the defensive side of the ball as well. Oh, wait, it's baseball. Yeah, guys, the Padres won 21-0 against the Rockies. They had 24 hits to the Rockies 5. Jacob Stallings threw a 37-mile-an-hour pitch, which is crazy. But yeah, this is just bullying. Guys, the Colorado Rockies are 6-33. And I do complain all the time about the Washington Nationals. I do think, I could be a Rockies fan, but at that point, at least I'd have the Denver Nuggets, right? You know, they're up 2-1 on the Thunder. I don't think they're going to win today, but we'll get to that. Make sure to join us later for that video. I mean, guys, we're, 2 months into the season, and the Rockies are already 20 games back of their division lead. I mean, the Nats are 8 in all fairness. Seriously? But I mean, this is just, this is embarrassing. It doesn't really matter who's pitching, who's playing. The Padres are a much better team than Colorado. We know that. For the sake of saying it, the pitching matchup today is, Nick Pivetta and German Marquez. Yikes. Pavetta's been excellent this year, 2 ERA. He was excellent. He's been excellent all year long. The Tigers start, probably his best start of the season. 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, 0 runs. Not Sandy Alcantara, he's pitching today, but not obviously for the Rockies. German Marquez has not been good, like Alcantara, but Marquez 9.9 ERA this season, 0-6 record for the Rocks with him on the bump. His last 5 starts, the best performance he's had is when he only gave up 5 runs. Oh, goodness, this is bad. How long is the leash for Marquez? I'm genuinely curious. I don't know the Rockies. I don't, follow the Rockies like that, so I don't know, again, how long his leash is. I don't know how loyal the Rockies are to Marquez, who's been here for a very long time at this point. But, and I know, again, you're pitching at course, you're pitching at elevation. It's tough, but how long are they going to do this for? Every start, he gets pummeled. So anyways, Padres first half of the money line parlay is great. -285. We're going to take that. we're just going to use that to bump up our line for the Phillies in the nightcap, right? Ultimately, the pick here is the Phillies, but we think we can get a boost, obviously, with the money line and with the parlay with Cleveland. Or sorry, not Cleveland. With San Diego, right? They're going to sweep the Rockies. The Rockies are 6-33. That's easy money. The Phils. Ever since I said this team was done, they should trade everyone, and the Nationals were like kind of close to them in the standings. Obviously, things have gone the wrong way for us. Not surprised. Now, the basic thing you need to know about the Sunday Night Baseball game is that Zach Wheeler's pitching. Luis Ortiz is pitching for Cleveland. He's not very good. Not the greatest. 5 ERA. The Nationals found a lot of success against him. I wouldn't be surprised if the Phillies find even more success. But Zach Wheeler is pitching for Philadelphia tonight. That's a big get for them, obviously, tonight on Sunday Night Baseball. And I feel like Bryce Harper's slowly coming back, right? Harper now batting .245 in the year, but yesterday 3 hits, a home run. The guy's great, okay? That's what Bryce Harper's going to do. We talked about this the other day, but you look at this Phillies lineup, and okay, they're all back. Trey Turner's batting .320. Bryson Stott's been phenomenal recently. Kyle Schwarber, you know what he brings to the plate. Castellanos is batting .282 on the season, right? Sure, Alec Bohm needs to figure it out. Was not in the lineup yesterday, but Bohm's the guy who's been super disappointing, and it kind of feels like at this point, the Phillies should have traded Bohm in the offseason when they got the chance, right? His value wasn't this low in the offseason. Obviously, yes, his postseason wasn't very good, but now what do you do with Alec Bohm, right? One could argue Edmundo Sosa's been better than him this season. I'm just going to be honest, right? Smaller sample size, obviously, for Sosa, but Sosa has not been bad. They all love Sosa in Philadelphia, so I don't know. But I think Philadelphia wins today, right? You know what the Guardians bring, right? Quan, Ramirez, and company. I think the Phillies are better, personally, and I think Zach Wheeler is better than Luis Ortiz, right? It feels like a pretty good play here, and that's why, again, I said at the beginning of this is like taking candy from a baby. I think this is a great spot for both of these teams. The Phils will find a way to win this game and win 2 of 3 here in Cleveland. Obviously, again, the way Bryce Harper's been pitching and with Wheeler on the bump. And then the first half of the parlay, again, this is easy. Right, the Padres might be able to beat the Rockies with their eyes closed at this point, right? Nick Pivetta is pitching for the Padres. German Marquez with a near 10 ERA is pitching for Colorado. I wonder who's going to win that game. That is coughing baby versus hydrogen bomb. I wonder what's going to happen. So give me San Diego in the first half of the parlay. Give me Philadelphia in the second half of the parlay. Combine these lines should get you to plus 120. Sign me up for it. Padres, Phils, let's get it done. And folks, that'll do it for our MLB Best Bets here for May 11th. If you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.